Okay, confession time. I've created some really good lead magnets that also flopped really good. They looked great. They were helpful. People even downloaded them, but they didn't actually move anyone closer to working with me. And that's the thing about lead magnets. They can look polished, they can feel valuable, and they can still do absolutely nothing for your business if they're not connected to the rest of your funnel. I realized I had plenty of freebies. This was a couple of months ago, but not the right one. I needed something that did three things. It needed to solve a real problem for my audience. It needed to connect directly to my paid offers. And it needed to be this natural talking point that when I am a guest on a podcast or I collaborate with someone, that it is an ideal resource that I can provide at the end of those things. And I didn't have that. So that's something I've been very busy doing for the past month. So that's what we're going to walk through today, how to create a lead magnet that doesn't flop, one that attracts your very best clients. It solves a real problem of theirs and it actually sets up your next sale. Your lead magnet isn't just a freebie, it's a bridge. It's a bridge between someone getting to know you a little better and being prepared to become a customer. We need to make sure that that's what's actually happening with your lead magnet bridge. Let's dive in. So keep in mind, your lead magnet is not just a random freebie. It's your audience's first small win. It's their first taste of what working with you actually looks like. It should be valuable enough to earn their trust and their email, but simple enough that they can take it and accomplish a win quickly. Listen, if your lead magnet doesn't fit your funnel, it's just clutter in another person's inbox and it's a waste of your time to create. The goal of a lead magnet is not a download. It should be a next step in working with you. I'm going to repeat that again because I know this is contrary to what a lot of people say. The goal of a lead magnet is not to get the download. It's to get them to take the next step with you. So what do you do if your lead magnet, you don't know if it fits your funnel or not? Let's talk about what that looks like. And the first step is to make your lead magnet fit your funnel by starting with your paid offer. So we're going to work backward in this. What do people, your audience, what do they need to understand, believe, or fix before they're ready to buy? So I'm going to give you the example that I used. I wanted to start out with my Power Hour coaching sessions. That is a paid offer with me. That is the perfect first opportunity when I'm working with someone that we get to be one-on-one, really putting in some customized solutions just for their business and where they're at right now. That's what my paid offer is that I wanted to start with. So I could go back from that, which is kind of I would say it's a low to medium cost offer. So the next step below that is my marketing command center. That is the spreadsheet, the tracker that I created for people to input all of their marketing numbers like website, email, social, all of these different things, paid ads. You input that in one place and it gives you a really clear picture of what's working and what's not working, and what's bringing in business and what isn't. So that is a low cost product for me. That would be the step down from my Power Hour. So I needed this lead magnet to be a step down from that and to connect with both of those things. I needed, when I am on a podcast or collaborating with someone or I'm in a bundle, that free resource, that free thing needs to connect to my command center, which needs to connect to my Power Hour. So start with the thing of yours that is the high or medium ticket offer that you want to start with. You want to work people up to this thing. Start there first and work your way down to see what are the next logical steps. Number 2, ask yourself, does this topic that you're thinking about for your lead magnet like naturally lead to what that next step is? And a lot of times a a lead magnet, a freebie is going to lead to some kind of low cost offer, a product, a very low cost service, something. That is the natural progression. So ask yourself, does this topic that I'm thinking about for my freebie naturally connect with my low cost product or service? So if you're a designer who does brand or website design, your lead magnet shouldn't be about color palette trends for 2025. That's something that would be great for a social post, but your lead magnet should help your audience figure out why their brand isn't connecting. It's not really representative of them anymore, or something like that. Like you could do a quick brand checklist with questions that helps them see, do I need brand help? Or a quiz that reveals what is your visual presence, your logo, your colors, your all these things. What's it really communicating? You could do something like that because it lends itself when somebody goes through that checklist or they take the quiz and they realize, oh, I really do have a branding problem here. The next logical step is to, get on a call with you, whatever that low ticket thing is, to take one extra small step to fixing that with you. You also need to, when you're making sure that your lead magnet fits your funnel, check the alignment. So your lead magnet should solve a tiny piece of what you solve with your paid offer. So if you are a designer, an interior designer, and your, high ticket offer is that you go in and you do complete design, let's keep it small, for a room, right? So your lead magnet should solve a tiny, tiny piece. Can you speak about accessorizing with pillows, or how to stage a built-in bookcase, or how to like, something about the holidays is kind of what I'm thinking now, because we should all have multiple lead magnets, right? So it should solve a tiny, tiny piece of what you can do with your high ticket offer, where you can solve a lot and make a huge transformation. Let's start with tiny pieces as a lead magnet of things they can do on their own. They can take your guidance and your advice and solve a very small problem on their own. And then they're like, wow, that made such a difference. Look at my gallery wall. Look at my built-in. These are incredible now. That's what I'm talking about. So once you know that your topic fits your funnel, and by funnel, we're just talking about, it's kind of your sales process. Um, sales process doesn't start when you get somebody on the phone. It starts at the beginning when they're learning about you. This is all about, they learn about me. They want to get to know me through this lead magnet. Then I'm going to turn them into a very small customer, and I'm going to walk them along the way. That is all part of your sales process. And that's what we mean by your funnel. So once you have a topic that fits, the next step is making sure it's something your audience actually wants. So we have to make it irresistible, especially in the day and age that we have, when there's so much content out there. There are so many free webinars, free guides, free checklists, free opportunities, free challenges. They're everywhere. So we have to make it something that is irresistible to them. If your audience would not stop scrolling for it, they're not going to trade their email address for it. So your lead magnet has to feel like something your audience wants to click on right now, not someday when they have time, or they can, it moves up their to-do list kind of thing right now. That's why we're using the word irresistible, not just appealing, not just really good, not just interesting, irresistible. Like they don't even have to think twice about getting it. But here's the thing. Your lead magnet doesn't always have to solve a painful problem. Sometimes the highest performing lead magnets are the ones that are fun, that they sound fun, like a quiz, a challenge, a checklist. It feels like instant clarity because you're getting that instant result, kind of, instead of another chore, instead of another course or something that takes a significant amount of time and it's just long. Something fun can actually be very high performing. The point here isn't to add pressure, it's to create a payoff for them. You're giving people a quick, very satisfying win that earns their trust. You're showing them more of all about you. You're building that know, like, and trust factor. And that gets them excited to take the next step with you. So let's look at how do we do that? How do we make something irresistible practically? Start with the title, because obviously that's the very first thing that they're going to hear about. So don't make it boring. Make it something they would um, say out loud or want out loud. Like if you're a photographer, think, the 10-minute guide to getting natural smiles in family photos, or to getting children to smile in family photos. This is something they can use before they ever hire a photographer, when they're just taking, family pictures out at the pumpkin patch or at Thanksgiving or whatever it is. This is something they could use that gives them a quick win to use in their everyday life, but it also shows your expertise. So choose something with a compelling title. Number 2, like we said, something that is a quick win. It needs to give them results in 30 minutes or less. They need to be able to read whatever instructions you've given, do the actual thing, get the transformation in 30 minutes or less. I know that can be challenging. So it may be something you have to brainstorm and throw around some different ideas. That's okay. Number 3, it should be beautifully packaged. So we want something that's clear. Tim Ferriss kind of referred to this as like the minimum effective dose. So you want to use, and I say this as someone who has been a copywriter for many, many years, you want to use just the number of words necessary to get your point across and be effective. It's always better to be concise, especially when people have so little time to implement some of this stuff. And you don't want it to be cluttered. You want the look to be clean. This is not a time to just throw something together yourself. Use a template, work with a designer, and you can do that. You could hire somebody on Fiverr or Upwork, or get a template off Creative Market. There are so many ways to do this cost effectively. You don't have to hire a designer that's $150 an hour for a lead magnet, but it has to be, all of these parts have to work together and be equally stellar. Your title has to be just as good as what the transformation is that you're delivering, as the look of it. And that number 4 piece is make sure it has a direct tie, like it naturally flows to your next offer. At the end of it, you want to make them say, I love this. What's the next step? You have to make sure that that is included and that you keep that in mind when you're designing it. Okay. So now that you know how to make your lead magnet fit into your funnel and you make it irresistible, let's make sure it actually converts, like it actually works. So when they get that lead magnet delivered to their inbox, right, is typically how they're going to get it. Some piece is going to go into their email. Don't just say in that email that you're delivering your freebie through, like, here you go, we're all done. You want to say, here you go, here's your result, your thing, your whatever. And you want to list what that next step is. Like, here's how to go deeper. Here's what's next. If you loved this, or if you're ready to take this information and really make it work for you, do XYZ. Make sure they have, this is your next step. And you can say it as plainly as that. You deliver whatever it is that is your freebie, and then you can put right in that same email, your next step. And that is the next step of your sales process, your funnel. Also keep in mind, you want to deliver your lead magnet instantly and follow up. So automation is great, but we want to try to make this email that you are delivering this in as personal as possible. We want to connect. So you're saying, thank you for getting this. I'm so excited for you. This is going to be a big deal. It's going to, create this transformation in your life, your business, whatever it is. You are trying to make this thing feel personal, even though I know and you know that you don't actually know them yet, but you can make it personal to you and, make them feel like they are knowing you when they receive it. It's not just the item they're getting, they're also beginning this relationship with you. And then number 3, this is one of my favorites, is to test and tweak. Entrepreneurship is all about trial and error. I don't know if anyone ever gets to the point that everything that they put out just automatically works and, it just goes gangbusters and everything is great. No, all of us have to, test and tweak. So you're going to do that with all parts of this. going to need to create multiple lead magnets. Start with one, but build from there as you see potential for new things and new topics, new products as your business grows. So you're going to test which lead magnets are working and who are they attracting? Are they actually bringing in leads? Am I getting purchases? Am I getting calls? Whatever your call to action is this lead magnet actually driving people to the next step? Am I seeing that? You may need to tweak the title of it. You may need to tweak like where you're talking about it, how you're talking about it, how you're explaining it. There are so many different things that you can test. And this is just the beginning of that process. All right. I know this is a lot for lead magnets, so let's try to wrap it up. A good lead magnet, remember, doesn't just build your email list. It's going to build momentum and start bringing people into your sales funnel. It gives your audience a quick win, it earns their trust, and it sets up the next step of working with you very naturally. So take a look at what you have in your lead magnet arsenal. Do the current ones connect to your paid offers? Do they solve a real problem quickly that your audience actually cares about? And if not, maybe it's time, do like me, maybe it's time to build a new one or take one that you've already made and figure out how you can break it apart and rebuild it and spin it into multiple lead magnets, pull out pieces of it. You never have to throw anything completely out. Figure out how you can optimize and use what you've already created if you like some of those, or it's totally possible to start from scratch like me. And when you're ready for the piece where you're going to track and see what's working, are you getting people to the page where they can sign up for your lead magnet? Of those people, how many are actually going ahead and signing up? Of those people who get it, how many are moving to the next step? That's all numbers that you need to track. And that's what I was talking about with my marketing command center. It will help you do all of that so you can have a holistic picture. You can see across the board all of your marketing, and you get more of a visual look at this is going up, going down, that type of thing. It's easier to make really informed, smart decisions with your marketing time and your energy and your dollars. You can find that at bit.ly/command center pod. And don't forget, as a podcast listener, you can use the code podcast20 to get 20% off of that tracker. Because listen, we have said time and time again here today, when your lead magnet, your funnel, and your offers all align, your marketing finally starts to make sense and you don't have to work so hard to get in new clients and customers. They start coming to you because you've built a system to draw them in. That's all for today. I can't wait to talk to you next time. Stay weird.